SA Today on the Orange Television Network. I'm Harry Russell.
Tonight we sit down with Neal Casey, Chair of Student Life Committee, to discuss the results from the College for Change smoking survey. Could this program make our campus tobacco-free? And later, SA President John Barnhart will address the issues directly affecting SU students. But first, John joins us live in studio to discuss the latest issues from around the Hill. John, what's the latest?
Hey, thanks, Perry. Great to be back, guys. Hope everybody had an awesome weekend. Good bye weekend for our football team. We're going to come out strong next week and really psyched for South Florida. But let's talk about what was going on last week. I'm sure you guys saw the signs for what we called Project P, which was a huge event on the quad this Friday. It was there to talk about a large scholarship that we received from a couple of our alumni. They donated $20 million toward middle-class student scholarships. Guys, this is incredible. And for those of you that are affected by this, please make sure you take the time to thank the trustee, Howie Feinstein, for his donation. That was really a great thing. And I had a chance to speak there too and thank him in person. Really had a great time. So let me tell you about some things we got coming up this week. Thursday, October 7th at 5:30 p.m. in Kraus-Heinz 010, we'll be having our Mayfest meeting. So if anybody out there is interested in helping plan Mayfest this year, please show up. We'd love to have you. Again, that's this Thursday. Check it out on Facebook. Also, this Friday by 3 p.m., make sure your student organization budgets are in for next semester. A lot of money to hand out, and we know you guys want to put on good programs, so make sure those are in. Again, 3 p.m. this Friday in the SA office. Make sure you get all your signatures. Of course, the last thing is President and Comptroller petitions are going to be due this or next Friday. That's October 15th by 5 p.m. You ready to run for President or Comptroller of SA? You want to sit in this chair next semester? You should probably show up and make sure you hand in your petition. Looking forward to seeing all the candidates. Getting really excited. So yeah, that's all we got this week, Perry. Back to you.
And John will be right back later to answer your questions, but first, the results from the Colleges for Change smoking survey when we return. You're watching SA Today on the Orange Television Network. We'll be right back.
Mom and Dad, we need you to be involved in our school, because when you are, we get better grades.
And have a higher rate of graduation.
It could be as simple as stopping in to read a haiku. Hey, we're not demanding like your boss, but we need you to be involved in our school.
And maybe even get us a pony.
Hear what your kids are saying. Get more involved. Join your local PTA.
Explore new worlds. Read. Visit literacy.gov and let the journey begin.
Welcome back. The Colleges for Change program has already made 8 other campuses, including SUNY Buffalo and Casanova College, tobacco-free campuses. And now SA is looking into the program to see whether it would work here at SU. I'm joined now by Neal Casey, Chair of Student Life Committee. First off, Neal, thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
Appreciate your time.
Anytime.
On our first question, the Daily Orange last Thursday reported that SA is calling for a 3-year action plan. How will this work?
Well, first to clear that up, we haven't called for anything. We were approached by Colleges for Change at the end of last semester. This is a state-funded grant through the Onondaga County Health Department. They said that we're working to get this across the state and across the country. Let's look into this at SU, see what happens. We said absolutely, we'll look into it. Our first and foremost concern was, what do students think about this? How do students feel about it? We didn't want to call for anything right off the bat without really investigating, and that's where the results of this survey really come into play.
So you said that the survey was last May, and what exactly did the survey ask for, and what did SA find?
Sure. The survey started about April last year, traveled throughout the summer. We looked really at a bunch of different things, from tobacco litter on campus to whether or not you would be in favor of a policy banning tobacco. So what it really found, I'll give you a couple highlights. We had 1,160 students respond to the survey. We had a response rate of about 20%. Some key takeaways from it. We had 90% of students have been exposed to secondhand smoke in the last 30 days, and up to 62% of students would actually be in favor of a tobacco-free campus. So we were very encouraged by the results, and we're really looking to see what we can do with it in the future.
Now, I know one of the first steps you guys are looking forward is to limit big tobacco companies from advertising on campus. Could you just speak a little bit?
Sure. Well, right now there is an opportunity for that to happen on campus. Now, our policy currently states that we can't accept any tobacco sponsorship, with a little caveat that says unless there's administrator approval. We haven't really seen any evidence of that, but we want, it's not a great thing. It's not a great thing to be accepting money from these companies. We'd like to encourage a healthy campus, and I don't think that that's the right way to go. So we're looking to close the loophole in that policy.
And now I know a policy like this requires some money. So where can students expect the money to come from?
Well, this policy probably will not require a ton of money from the university. Like I said, it's a state-funded grant, so all the research was paid for through state funds. None of it was paid through any student funds or SA funds. We were just really open to hearing the results of it.
So where can students go to express their ideas or concerns regarding the policy?
Oh, as always, we use a bunch of different media outlets. We keep our SyracuseSA@gmail.com, as well as our Facebook and Twitter page. We're always checking those to see what students have to say. This isn't something that we're just looking to drop the ball on. We don't want students just to wake up one day and there's no more smoking on campus. We're looking at how this program would play out over time, and whether or not students will have to put in a cessation program, or what do students need. That's obviously our first concern.
So is there anything set in stone right now with the policy?
There's nothing set in stone right now. It's just continuing to analyze the survey results, talk to students, talk to administrators, find out where the opportunities are before we actually make any decisions.
Thanks so much, Neal.
Oh, thank you.
Coming up, John Barnhart will rejoin us to answer your questions. We'll be right back.
Every year, mothers lose their babies to gun crimes. You'll always be your mother's baby. So before you commit a gun crime, think about who you'll leave behind. Gun crimes hit home.
We can all be more energy efficient. It's easy. Use energy-saving light bulbs. Energy Smart Power Strips. And turn off electronics and appliances when not in use. Learn what you can do today at energy.gov/tink. The magical thing about using energy wisely is that anyone can do it. Use energy-saving light bulbs, Energy Smart Power Strips, and turn off computers and game systems when not in use. Get together and make a difference. Learn what you can do at energy.gov/tink.
We're joined once again by John Barnhart to respond to your comments regarding the possibility of a smoke-free SU campus. We caught up with students around campus to hear what they have to say, and the first question comes from a non-smoker student. So let's take a look at that.
I'm personally not a smoker, but I do know smokers, and SU I don't think has to be a totally smoke-free campus. Maybe just a designated smoking area by the buildings, complete with ashtrays and whatnot, so there's not cigarette butts all over campus. But I definitely think designated smoking areas would be a good compromise between smoke-free and allowing smokers to smoke wherever they want on campus. So
John, what would be your response for people like Amanda?
You know, I think it's a great question. Unfortunately, when you hear the word smoke-free and, when you see that headline in the Daily Orange, it can kind of be misleading. As Neal really cleared up for us, we really use the survey results just to kind of get a basis of what we can do from here, So perhaps at the end of the day, after looking at the survey results and after talking to students, figuring out what the best solution is for our campus in particular, maybe we'll decide that designated smoking areas are the best way to go. But in the event that students would prefer to have a completely smoke-free campus, let's say a couple years down the line, maybe this is that interim step we need in those in-between years before going 100% smoke-free. Either way, I think Amanda and smokers and non-smokers on campus that are concerned should come talk to us about it. Let us know what they feel, and we can really find a good compromise here.
Okay, so the next question is from a smoker who doesn't quite like the idea of a smoke-free idea. Now she wrote, "Isn't there a way that we can compromise and maybe have designated areas around campus for smoking? I don't think it's completely fair to make SU only smoke-free."
And again, compromise is something that might come out of this. We really do want to talk to as many students as we can, but we also got to take into consideration what resources we have available to us. What happens with designated smoking areas is they end up being sometimes sponsored by tobacco companies. And the entire purpose of using the survey was to actually get rid of that policy within our own codes, saying that we do allow smoking company, tobacco policies to sponsor events on campus with that caveat that Neal talked about if an administrator allows it. So compromise, again, is always an option. And so we hope that students from both sides of the table will reach out to us, let us know, so that when we go to formulate that final policy, it really does take into consideration everybody's opinion.
Okay, now John, what kind of options are there do you kind of see coming forward?
There's a couple different options here. Like we said, the big option that we're looking at first is to get rid of that that kind of impression in there, that one little line that says a tobacco company can sponsor an event if an administrator says it's okay. We really feel like that's completely unnecessary, seeing as without that exception, everything else is not allowed from tobacco companies. So that's a policy change. Obviously, if we were to set up designated smoking areas, that would require some structural changes. Perhaps we're going to set up a distance away from buildings. All these different things are different options. So there's a lot of options on the table, and the good news is we're just starting to look at these survey results and figure out what the best option is moving forward.
Okay, so John, thank you very much, and thank you again for joining us tonight. Remember, if you want to get involved with SA, you can attend their meetings every Monday at 7:30 p.m. in Maxwell Auditorium. Be sure to join us right here next Monday after live news for a brand new SA Today. For John Barnhart and the entire SA Cabinet, I'm Perry Russum. Have a great evening.